Next up at UFC Vegas 65, we have Andre Fialho taking on Muslim Salikhov. Andre Fialho, 16-5 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off the KO loss. Nope. Yep. To Jake Matthews. Wrestler Jake Matthews knocked out Andre Fialho. Muslim Salikhov, 18-3 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5, and he is also coming off a KO loss. This to Li Jinglang. Muslim Salikhov is a solid striker. He can wrestle as well. He's a bit older, a bit slower. He doesn't hold much back in his striking. Everything he throws is with power, and he sort of chases those knockouts. He doesn't wrestle as much as you'd like him to, but he does wrestle, and he does have that in his back pocket. Andre Fialho is a striker. He's got a nice jab. He's got decent power. He showcased that power with a win over Miguel Baeza, the knockout over Cameron Van Camp. He will mix up leg kicks, but he keeps his head high. He can be a bit chinny. He's very, very hittable. He always has been, even if you go back to the PFL. And then Jake Matthews, who is a wrestler, just absolutely put him out. This is a really tough pick, a really, really tough pick, because Andre Fialho, I mean, he's younger. He's probably more athletic. He can most likely hit harder. But Salikhov hits really hard. Salikhov can wrestle. Salikhov has more ways to win. And anytime you get a fight this close where neither guy is like a super high-level guy, I got to go with the one who has more ways to win. It's going to be Salikhov, but I don't love it. This is what we're talking about. I might get this pick wrong, but I'm not betting on this fight. Don't just listen to the pick and say, oh, he thinks Salikhov's going to win, minus 105. I'll go ahead. I'll do that. So, I would leave it alone, but Salikhov is the pick. What's up?
I'm trying to figure out. Elizabeth is talking about like how good Andre Fialho looks or something. I don't understand what the hell is going on. That's like the most random dude to be like, oh my God, Andre Fialho is a heartthrob. But yeah, this is a pick 'em fight for a reason. They haven't even dropped props for this fight yet, because I think it's just like a clusterfuck of like who knows what's gonna happen. They did finally drop the round line, which is 1.5. I think that under 1.5 is going to be enticing for a lot of people at plus 135, but I would be careful with that because Fialho is a guy that just kind of takes his time, plots forward, waits to get hit, and then he starts hitting people. And Muslim coming off a KO could wrestle more, and that the wrestling comes into a factor that could extend it. I actually might look at the over 1.5 is minus 165. I still don't think this fight goes the distance. That's probably the better play. It might be minus 200, something like that. But I think it's probably the safer play for this matchup, because picking either one of these guys is a tough task. Because as I mentioned, Andre Fialho gets hit, and then he starts hitting people. Even against Cameron Van Camp, rest in peace, Cameron Van Camp, would put him on skates and then got knocked out. Everyone seems to put Andre on skates, and then he finds a knockout. That can only last for so long. As you saw in the last fight, he finally got put away. Muslim, I told you guys he was going to get knocked out by Lee. Exactly what happened. He needs to wrestle. He should have the wrestling in this fight. That's why I'm going to pick him, but don't put your money on. If you want to put like inside the distance on one of these guys and just hope and pray, I get it, but probably does not go the distance. Is going to be the play, and stay away from either side in this, especially like if this is like one of those fights you mentioned, like someone's going to come out of this weekend and be like, oh, Andre Fialho ruined my parlay. It's like, why the fuck did you have Andre Fialho in a parlay?
Dude, those comments always kill me. It's like, why did you do that? Why would you do that or anything that resembles that? People love doing it. I think so. Chris Riley, who we have on this show occasionally, I did a betting breakdown show with him. He's a very experienced sports bettor for many, many, many years. He's worked for sports books, fantasy companies, etc. He said something like 90%.
I've also worked for fantasy companies.
90% of sports bets are $5 or less to make like $1,000. It's something ridiculous like that, where it's all small bets chasing massive payouts. And fist fighting is not the sport for that. It's just too many things can go wrong when you're doing 7-leg parlays. Too many things can go wrong. Obviously, you can get some great odds like Jacob tends to find with these plus 2,200 first-round stoppages and submission stuff like that, because it is a fist fight and anything can happen. But there's no reason to be taking these pick 'em, anything can happen fights, making them in parlays. With that being said, $5 for a Revenant for premium membership. Can we maybe have a little summary reasoning behind your future bets in the future, maybe even a confidence rating? So I guess what you're talking about is not only do we have all of this week's events and bets and all of that up, if you scroll to the bottom of premium membership, there's future bets. And sometimes that's a week out. Sometimes that's many months out. Jacob had that bet on Sean O'Malley like 4 months. It was just sitting there. So you're saying you want a little bit of an explanation. We could potentially work in a couple sentences there to elaborate on those.
Future bet on Demir because he's going to absolutely dominate that dude Armin. So there you go.
There you go. I don't agree with that, but there you go. $7,900, $8,300. You know, if you feel very confident in either one of these, then pick a side because there's likely a stoppage.
You probably should have one in your lineup, honestly. I mean, you probably should have one in your lineup.
Yeah, no, there's likely a stoppage. Like you said, the bet to play here is does not go the distance. Some sportsbook will allow you to parlay those. That's worth a parlay. Take this, the main event, and the Jack Della Maddalena fights. Parlay those. Do not go the distance.
I disagree with
you
the
could
Jack
probably
one.
make that happen. Anyway, the odds are too close to call. No bet there. Monkey Knife Fight strike line 37 to 52. Nothing there. Nothing there. You can take both of them or one of them, throw them in your Knockout Kings for Monkey Knife Fight. If you don't know what that is, Monkey Knife Fight allows you to take any 3 fighters on the entire card, including 2 fighters who are fighting each other. And if one of them wins by KO or TKO, you get paid. 2 of them, you get paid even more. WeOwnPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. So I would definitely give that a go. There's a bunch of knockout potential on this card. So Monkey Knife Fight Knockout King should hit yet again.